to the Mind Shift Movement Podcast with your host, Alan Johnson. On this podcast, Alan will be sharing with you empowering, effective, and actionable knowledge within the health, fitness, and mindset space to help you make the progress and growth that you desire from your life so you'll become the very best version of you, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So now, get ready to dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, I hope you're really well. It's AJ here and welcome to the Mind Shift Movement Podcast. And on this episode, it's going to be a short, sharp episode today. Okay, what I want you to do first of all is please take a screenshot of this episode on whichever platform that you're listening to me on. Take a screenshot, share it on your social media stories, so your Instagram stories. You can tag me, it's AJ Fit Mind Coaching. Please tag me, share it on your stories, share it to your Facebook stories as well. And you could also share a post with a link to this episode as well if you really wanted to go that extra mile, guys. And this episode, I'm just briefly going to be speaking to you about ditching the filters, okay? And I'm going to be introducing hashtag filterless love, okay? So those that are using filters right now, I'm sharing my own opinions with love and care for our social media community, really. Okay, so I've got a little bit of story to start off with, really. It's about 3 years ago. I went away with a good friend of mine. His name's Will Polston. You might know him already. And hopefully he hears this and he can share his own experience of it. But basically, right, we went away, weekend away. There was a couple of events that we was going to. And we'd just finished a run. So we're staying in like the countryside. It was beautiful. So we used Airbnb and beautiful location. And we went out for a run in the morning to start our day, basically. And we finished the run. Of course, you get a selfie at the end of any exercise program, exercise session. And basically took the selfie. Later on that day, I shared it on social media, but I was using an app at the time. I can't remember what the app's called. It's deleted now off my phone. I'll never use it ever again. But basically, I just used this filter that just made us look weird. Like, it was just so filtered. And Will hated it. He commented on the photo saying, "Oh my God, like, what have you done to my face?" But the weird thing is at that time, I thought, I was making us look better. But it was extremely filtered. Okay, and these days now, like, I laugh about this situation now, but at the time I was like, oh, well, I thought we looked good, But these days I no longer use facial filters to improve how I look, and I feel it's really not necessary. I feel it can lead people down a road of low self-esteem, and I think probably at that time, 2 or 3 years ago, I probably had lower self-esteem because I felt the need to have to use these filters to be able to post myself out there on social media, as a selfie, okay. And especially the filters that are to the extreme, where they literally do not look like the actual person, right? And I'm not talking about the funny ones that people use, with their mates while they're out or with their kids. Sometimes my missus harasses our poor children with them just for a laugh, right? I'm talking more about the serious ones, the serious look facial selfies on social media. And I was working with one lady in particular about a year ago. I was doing some training together, and this particular lady, the filters they've been using recently makes them look completely different, like to what they look like in real life, completely different. And I just think that's really gonna have a negative impact on them, their mental health, maybe their mindset, about how they actually look. because going to that real extreme with a filter where you actually look nothing like the real you, I really think that's gonna negatively affect people. Now I'm not sure the missus wouldn't mind me saying this, but I think this person looks absolutely fine in real life, absolutely fine, nothing wrong at all. And I think they should just be filter free, or just do it for fun, rather than having to use filters to be able to actually post themselves out there on social media. So have you been someone in the past that maybe had been addicted to these facial filters? Let us know. Are you someone not right now that is using them, and you're actually aware of, basically you don't really want to have that habit any longer? Like, you know that you fall into this habit, and maybe you was like me at the time where you thought it was kind of cool, and then now you want to kind of try and get out of that habit as well, because these things do become a habit. I know I was addicted at that time of using this app that was making me look a bit different. Have you ever experienced seeing someone online that I've shared looks completely different in person without the filters? How many of you know people like this as well? And yeah, so I kind of got hooked when I was working with a certain nutrition company a few years back, and most of the others that I was working with at the time, like the other members and stuff, they was all using these apps, and that's how I kind of just fell into that bad habit of doing the same, basically. There are so many portraying how perfect they are on social media these days, which can make others feel a lot worse about themselves as well. So when people are not really seeing the real people on social media, people can get in a mindset of like, oh my God, they look so much better than me, they look perfect, their life's a lot better than mine, and it can actually make other people feel a bit worse, or even worse maybe about themselves, right? So let's work together and share some real unfiltered facial photos of ourselves on social media. I want you to start using the hashtag filterlesslove. I think we could really get this trending. That'd be really cool. Okay, and I think this will really help like your own mindset, learning to love the real you more, and will also have a positive impact on others watching your journey too. Okay, so I think this is going to have a positive impact all round. Okay, and maybe people may actually be able to recognise you outside in the world, and not just in the social media world too. All right, so that'd be really cool. So as I've said already at the start, I share this content with love. I share it with care. I just really want to help people be able to actually share content or share photos of themselves on social media without having the need to share, use these filters, facial filters to the extreme especially to the extreme where it looks nothing like them. I'd love to see more people just, sharing real unfiltered facial photos of themselves. That'd be really cool to see. Use the hashtag filterlesslove. Okay, and let's try and get that trending, guys. So that is it from me, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you could please make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast. Please, if you feel it worthy, leave a 5-star rating. We are so close to 100 reviews on the podcast, okay, which is really exciting. Leave a 5-star rating, leave a short review if you can. I know the easiest way to do this is on Apple Podcasts. Okay, I really appreciate it. Please share this episode with at least one friend that it may help them. And I really, really appreciate it, guys. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mind Shift Movement Podcast with Alan Johnson. Make sure you join Alan's free Facebook community group, the Mind Shift Movement Podcast Community. Please support the show by clicking subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. share this episode with at least one friend that would benefit from it, and share the episode on your social media stories. Please go and leave us a 5-star review to help us reach out to more potential listeners, and we really look forward to bringing you the next episode.